Australian Senator Alice Entig exposed the totalitarian aspiration of Klaus Schwab from the World Economic Forum.
Founded in 1971 by Klaus Schwab, the World Economic Forum is steeped in authoritarianism and Marxist ideology. It's an ideology which is creeping into governments across the world. To quote Schwab himself when speaking about the Canadian Parliament,
we penetrate the cabinets. So yesterday I was at a reception for Prime Minister.
If you said to me, I want to penetrate the government, I don't think you have a good intention. What the heck?
And I know that half of this cabinet, or even more half of this cabinet, are for our actually young global leaders of the world.
Wow.
That's true in Argentina as well.
It's true in Argentina, and it's true in France now. I mean, with the president.
Oh my God, no wonder we had this guy going gangster in Argentina. They have socialism, everything is going bad, the value of the money is going down. They're firing a bunch of people that just sucks the money, create infrastructures to help people, but the infrastructure makes other people work to find issues, and it doesn't help the issue because the system is swamped, because so easily you can label somebody an evil person.
The World Economic Forum promotes globalist issues such as climate change, so-called systemic racism and sexism, and creating an online digital identity. However, closer inspection reveals the World Economic Forum is an anti-capitalist, anti-free market organisation that seeks to subvert Western values and political processes. And they are very organised and very well funded. Their message is designed to appear harmless when in fact the ideology that underpins it is revolutionary and destructive. They train aspirational leaders in their ideology and help them make connections in spheres including politics, business and the arts. The World Economic Forum has consistently advocated for the harshest and most extreme COVID measures possible, including lockdowns, mandatory vaccinations, vaccine passports and mask mandates, despite these policies assaulting many of our basic liberties. The Forum believes that your freedoms should be minimised to prevent the imminent climate catastrophe, the one that's coming for 10 years in the last 50 years,
carbon
by
tax.
the way. The central theme of the World Economic Forum's material is what they call the Great Reset, which is Klaus Schwab's term for the opportunity the pandemic has presented to reimagine and reinvent the economic policies of the West. The term comes from Schwab directly himself with his 2020 book entitled The Great Reset. In a now deleted video titled 8 Predictions for the World in 2030, the World Economic Forum claimed that you'll own nothing and you'll be happy.
I've heard that. I've heard that. And I can understand where they're coming from about that, in a way that we just want everybody to be equal. I'm like, hey, it's a very beautiful way to suggest a solution. But the people at the top that's going to choose how you're going to enjoy that still, I don't trust those people. Especially when you add unique punishment to it. Like Canada. If you don't do the things I say, I'll block your bank account. I'm like, bruh, really? Can't you be a little more democratic?
You note as work makes you free and ignorance is strength. You don't have to be a political philosopher to figure out that if you own nothing, the state owns everything. There's a word for this. It's called communism.
Yep.
The World Economic Forum and its affiliates shamelessly promote the abolition of private property, a central facet of Karl Marx's demented utopian ideology which led to the deaths of tens of millions of people worldwide in the 20th century. No matter how sophisticated the World Economic Forum tries to make the abolition of private property around the world sound, the fantasies of Karl Marx always lead to the crushing of individuals' liberties and lives and the expansion of the state's tyranny and power. It is imperative that we pay close attention to the World Economic Forum and do all that we can to preserve liberty and reduce government intrusion in our lives.
I think you're not really helping the poor people, but then, well, we're going to help them by taxing you more and we're going to give them that for free. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. You're telling me that I worked hard to not be poor and suddenly you're going to help all the other poor people and they will be motivated to work hard as me so you can tax them so they can tax the other poor? That's not going to work. It makes no sense.
How are we really going to make it from a fossil-based fuel society into a renewable society? Where do you see the new real breakthroughs?
Well, the rich countries have to play a central role, both funding R&D and having policies. In some cases, carbon taxes will be used to drive the demand for these clean products. And only by doing that in an aggressive way will the economic costs be brought down enough that we can turn to all the middle income countries and say, okay, change your whole cement industry, change your whole steel industry, and yet, it's not holding you back from, your economic growth. The number of companies working on these things is very exciting. And some of them will fail. A lot of them will fail. But, we only need
Why are you
a reasonable
smiling?
number, a few dozen of them, to make it through. And that's what we have to accelerate.
But you're smiling. Well, not all companies are going to fail. But, that's when I'm like, what?
If we spend $50 trillion to become carbon neutral in the United States of America by 2050, you're the Deputy Secretary of Energy. Give me your estimate of how much that is going to reduce world temperatures.
So first of all, it's a net cost. It's what benefits we're having from getting our act together and reducing all of those climate benefits. We're seeing.
Let me ask again.
hundreds of
Maybe
billions of dollars right now.
maybe I'm not being clear.
Yeah.
If we spent $50 trillion to become carbon neutral by 2050 in the United States of America,
By taxing.
how much is that going to reduce world temperatures?
This is a global problem, so we need to reduce our emissions and we need to do everything we can.
How much,
to
if we do our
influence other
part, is
countries.
it going to reduce
So
world temperatures?
we're 13% of global emissions.
You don't
right
know,
now.
do you? You don't know, do you?
You can do the math. We need to.
You don't know, do you, Mr. Secretary?
So we're 13% of
If
global
you know,
emissions.
why won't
If
you
we
tell
went-
me?
If we went to zero, that would be 13%.
You don't know, do you? You just want us to spend $50 trillion, and you don't have the slightest idea
If it will work.
whether it's going to reduce world temperatures. Now, I'm all for carbon neutrality.
Me
You're
too.
the Deputy Secretary of the Department of Energy, and you're advocating we spend trillions of dollars to seek carbon neutrality, and you can't, and this isn't your money or my money, it's taxpayer money.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me how much it's going to lower world temperatures? Or you won't tell me? You know, but you won't?
In my heart of hearts, there is no way the world gets its act together on climate change unless the U.S. leads.
Tell me how much.
And now people are surprised why I keep looking at America. Because America does it first, Europe is going to take it over, and then everybody would follow up. By the way they're talking to live peaceful, I have to go back to a third world country. It's assumption. And when we don't reach the numbers, we're not doing enough. Wow. I'm going to come with my truck and I'm going to destroy the street. Do I agree with that? No. I don't agree with that. But at the same time, if people always brought food for us, these farmers and all these people working hard, and then suddenly you're like, you know what? Your cows are farting too much. We're going to remove your cows and everybody's going to eat something else. I'm like, who does that?
And yesterday in the Dutch media, we saw a perfect example of what it could entail in the near future. We had the CEO of one of the largest Dutch banks say, why don't we start with a personal carbon credit? A carbon wallet, she called it actually.
Yeah.
So right in line with the plans that the World Economic Forum people have for us. And she said it in a way that was particularly funny. She said, well, if everyone gets an individual personal carbon credit, why don't we make it so that rich people who, for example, want to go on holiday a little too often can buy personal carbon credit from other people who, for example, can't afford buying plane tickets or eating meat too often. So we can that way swap it out.
Oh, so if Bill Gates or Leonardo DiCaprio's carbon footprint is getting a bit too big, then some peasant living in his hovel up country somewhere can sell his, and he can't afford to go to Saint-Tropez, but he'll be able to sell his carbon allowance to Leonardo DiCaprio so Leonardo can park his yacht in Saint-Tropez for a couple of extra days.
Yeah.
Exactly right. That's it. So what will happen is the rich will get richer, the poor will get poorer, and they're saying it openly as if it's not a controversial thing at all. It's neo-feudalism. That's what it is. And they don't mind. You know, it's just, yeah, okay. Then they said, well, And it's just a thought experiment because obviously a lot of people were kind of upset about this communist ideal that they just presented to the people on TV as a good idea.
And all I want to say, I'm not sure if I'm alone here, so let me know in the comments with your likes, so I'm sure I'm alone or not alone here, because I do feel my government in Spain is kind of going in that direction slowly, just like Argentina. And that would really suck for the poor people. It also kind of makes sense. They want more people to come over illegally so they can have carbon print that they're not going to use that the rich can buy. I don't know, maybe I'm connecting too many dots.